So today I want to talk to you about the concept of gratitude capital, how to increase it, and also in what ways you could use this gratitude capital possibly to think of an alternative to your regular sales funnels. So we're going to see the conceptual aspect of it, but also the practical aspect of it. So what is gratitude capital? Well, gratitude capital is what you get when you are of service. It's the goodwill that you get when you are serving others without a transactional agenda necessarily. That would be the most powerful type of gratitude capital, the one that you get when the other person does not perceive that you are on a self interest personal agenda. Now, as Adam Grant says in his book, Give or Take, there are three types of people: the givers, the takers, and the matchers. And he says that the most successful people are givers, but also the least successful people are also givers. And so you would think that there has to be a difference between both of them. So we do have to take a look at that, right? If you are providing a service with no agenda, with no transactional agenda, well, maybe you're not able to create the conditions for you to thrive and to keep the show running. Now, my point is you could have a non-transactional perspective from a direct point of view when you are being of service and still create the conditions for whatever it is that you're creating from a gratitude capital perspective to create conditions for you to thrive. So this is what Adam Grant is really uh, pointing to. You need to be a giver that generates the conditions for you to thrive. The moment you do that, then you could be exceptionally successful. But it's all about how you create those conditions. Now, that's what takes us to the idea of an ecosystem. How all these interactions of giving are going to build an ecosystem that is going to thrive collectively and that's going to generate also the conditions to for you to thrive in it. And so this is when we introduce the idea of the community. And I've been very keen about doing this. This is actually something that I've done myself, is to build a community of support around the subjects that you are very interested about. But it's not just any community. It is a community that has to have a shared language where everyone can speak that shared language and be of help to each other, hopefully with the least amount of judgment, with the least amount of friction, knowing full well that that generates the conditions for everyone to thrive. So this is a very delicate balance that you have to strike. It's not just a community of people that are networking and giving each other contact information. It is about really caring and wanting to contribute. So that's when the gratitude capital comes in. So very specifically, if you were to provide this service from a place of passion for the service that you're providing, uh, with, in, with intent and interest for the other person, then if you do this with no specific transactional agenda, which by the way, I don't want to for this to mean that I have something against transactional agendas. I mean, most of the interactions between people are transactional, and this is what makes the world go round. But there are also many transactions or many interactions between people that don't have a transactional agenda. And so, if you were to contain those types of interactions where you're giving service to others within a community that you are managing, then you are going to create the conditions for this gratitude capital that is generated to actually be something that can be invested back into the community to grow it even bigger. And this is something that I actually noticed myself just by observation. I realized that a lot of the goodwill that I was receiving, all the opportunities that were opening up, all the incoming energy and attention I was getting, maybe for a new project, a new opportunity, when you pop in someone's head as a person that could be of help, and be of service in the context of a new project, I would say that very likely it's not because you are part or you're providing these services through a funnel. It is most likely because there is an emotional connection that occurred where the person actually felt that you were authentic about how you were delivering this service, this advice, these resources, this support. And so that's when the person remembers you because there was this emotional connection. Now, all of this is actually taking a back seat right now with the incredible amount of people creating sales funnels where, yes, there is a trust building, warming, lead warming process where people provided with tremendous amount of value through a series of interactions. But you know that at the end of that road, there will be a CTA very predictably where this person that is delivering this value is going to call you on a conversion moment, right? And we are all possibly going through this process at this moment in 30 to 40 funnels. So we are somehow embedded into those funnels, and we already know the patterns that are there. So it's very predictable. You know the game. You sign up, you get this freebie, then there is a series of emails. All of them are very relevant. They could be even tailored to you using AI. There are all these types of agents that collect information on you and are making this very intelligent process of delivering to you exactly what you need. All of that is perfectly fine. You might actually find a lot of value from these interactions, but not a emotional connection. Yes, and the emotional connection, my friends, is what generates memory. It's what generates this pop that comes in your mind when you think of, oh, this person could help you. Why do you think this person could help you? Yes, only because of the results of these people, only because of the incredible uh, achievements of these people that come to mind. Most likely, it is because an emotional connection was established where you felt that this person would be the right fit when given this recommendation. So my point is, I am into technology. You all know it. I love AI. I think it's an incredibly powerful solution. I actually do not believe that funnels are a thing of the past. They are probably going to be useful for many years to come. But there is definitely a swing of the pendulum where we're headed back to connecting with humans and with this feeling that we are just yearning for the authenticity in the bonds between people. And so when you want to build then that authenticity and then increase your gratitude capital with that community, you have to do it in a way where the conditions will be given, but it's not something that you are mechanically creating where there is a predictable outcome that you know will happen for sure. It is just the goodwill, knowing that just through the goodwill of the people, the passion that you have for your service, and the support that you're providing, that people will do well. And then from that, many other things will happen that will keep the community thriving. And this is what I experience. So this is some way in some cases called social selling and things like that. I don't know how you want to call it, but it's, I think, the oldest trick in the book, right? Connecting with people authentically, developing a bond that is an emotional bond where you show up authentically from a place of passion and purpose, understanding full well that you are just enjoying yourself, just enjoying yourself. And so when you come out from a place of joy, things start to flow. And haven't you seen this? When that is an ingredient in the interaction, have you noticed that this is when things flow? This is when the wheels of the people align. And when that occurs and people want a specific outcome, then everything gets aligned and the outcome is material with no friction, with flow, with ease. And so I would invite you to think of ways of increasing your gratitude capital with others from that perspective, but generating an environment where when you're expressing yourself, you are creating the conditions for that gratitude capital to thrive. I'll give you an example. In this community, there is a person that came back and said, look, I would love to offer what I do as a service absolutely for free for every member in the community because I owe so much to the community. So that's an expression of gratitude capital. So what you want is not to cash in on that offer without thinking very carefully about how can you use that energy, that gratitude capital energy, yes, that possibility of willful investment back into the community without really thinking of a way of contributing back to this person that is doing the giving. So you want to create also the conditions for this event, this giving event, to actually generate even more. So you have a compounded benefit. So this is the way in which you can organize communities nowadays by aligning people through common language that are aligned also in intention, basically with some sort of an objective that even if each person has its own objective, you still have a collective purpose, let's say, of thriving together, supporting each other together for whatever cause that is your passion. Coming together and doing that might not necessarily have a direct business model. You just have to have the faith that you're going to generate this gratitude capital, which then can be managed and reinvested to create compounded benefit bigger and bigger in ways that are not going to be predictable, but will compound themselves exponentially to create things that you might not even envision as possible at this moment. So that's the power of the community. That's the power of gratitude capital. And with that, my friends, I want you to keep it epic and we'll see each other soon.